I know where I'm going.
No doubt indeed.
I'm on
Without weed.
Hey guys, welcome back to Season 3. This season is going to be the best one yet. I have a ton of new things to reveal, some kick-ass genetics, and only the best equipment to grow them under. I'm back in soil where I belong and, oh yeah, growing more plants than I have yet so far. And this is the episode where it all starts. Thanks for joining me. Let's get to germinating some medicine on this episode of Pilly the Stoner. So as all grows that are starting out, I have a few things on my checklist that need to be checked off first. And one of them entails heading down to the head shop and post office to stock up on supplies so I have everything these bitches are going to need in order to be happy. Cannabis takes a lot of work to grow, especially if you want it done right. And that means a little bit of elbow grease in the beginning. That all starts with materials. I was lucky enough to get hooked up this year by a few people and absolutely cannot wait to unpack this and lay out the plan for you guys. Indoor Growing and Indoor Growing Canada was nice enough to send me a box with everything I require this year when it comes to potting. The box contains several fabric pots from Rhizope, ranging in different sizes, as well as dishes and elevators to accommodate those sizes and ensure proper drainage. I prefer the fabric pots because they allow the soil to breathe quicker and prevent a lot of mold and overwatering issues. They are also washable and reusable in regards to being eco-friendly. My sponsors over at Diablo Nutrients hooked me the fuck up, and I can't wait to go over all these nutrients and explain over the next few episodes just what all these do and show you exactly why I choose Diablo's nutrient product line. They support and enable superior growth in cannabis plants, and I can't wait to prove that all to you. So if you want to grow along, you can pick up all this, including the potting supplies, at Indoor Growing and IndoorGrowing.com and have it conveniently dropped off at your front door for you. And if you enter the code name Pilly, you will save yourself some serious cash at the checkout. If you give me 6 hours to chop a tree down, I'll probably spend 4 of them sharpening the axe. If you fail to prepare, you're only preparing to fail, and my equipment needs a full cleaning and everything must be taken down and sterilized between grows. Over the last grow, the fan blades have collected some dust bunnies and everything must be wiped down to prevent bacteria and pests. The humidifiers in the tent use filters to prevent garbage from getting through, but they need to be changed a few times a grow because they begin to lose their efficiency by gumming up and drying out. But most importantly, all the tent's surfaces need to be wiped down and sterilized to ensure a bug-free grow environment and to wipe out any possible mold and spores from stagnant water over the last few months. I use a cleaning solution of 3/4 cup of bleach with 1 gallon of water. Every surface will be brought back to a brand new and the floors and every nook and cranny will get vacuumed thoroughly before I can even begin. Once everything is out of the tent and has been cleaned, I can reintroduce it back into the environment again. New filters in the humidifier and fan blades, sparkling like new, like they did in the store shelves. This season, I'm not only just using one tent, I'll be rocking both of my tents at the same time. My 4x4 tent from Spider-Farmwe will be rocking my SF4000, while in the 5x5 I will be busting out the brand new SF7000. Both tents are fully equipped with all the teched out fixins, and both tents are going to be absolutely wall to wall with beautiful dank buds. The 5x5 with the brand new Spider-Farmwe 7000 LED will be ventilated with the AC Infinity Cloudline T6 6-inch inline exhaust. And the 4x4 Spider-Farmwe tent will have the AC Infinity Cloudline T4 4-inch inline exhaust system. Both of these systems are tied into separate environment sensors and can be set almost completely automated by presetting a desired humidity and temperature range. As far as seeds, this season I will be popping 5 Mimosa Evo from Barney's Farm that are a cross between Mimosa and Orange Punch and have a THC at 26% with possibilities of up to 30. And I will be popping 8 Blue Dreams from Garden of Green Genetics that can hit up to 25% of THC and is a cross between Blueberry, Super Silver Haze, Afghani, and Thai. To begin the germination, I first soak the seeds in unchlorinated tap water for up to 18 hours in complete darkness. The environment will also need to be altered to some degree during this time as well. I will elevate the cups off the cold tent floor and place them under a seed mat that will conductively heat the water's ambient temperature, and place a towel between the two of them to buffer the warmth so it's just right. The seeds will remain in this state in complete darkness for the next 18 hours. After the 18 hours is up, I will need to drain these beans and I will poke them to see if they sink. If the seeds stay afloat, it is because they lack viable embryos or nutrient stores, making them less dense and most likely not viable enough to break soil. But all these babies sunk, so I will go ahead and drain them. Place a paper napkin onto a plate. Then drain it off the majority of water before dumping it in, because we don't want a tidal wave flooding the seeds into the drain, never to be seen again. Next, I fold them up neatly into the napkin and mark them. The napkin's only purpose will be to hydrate them for enough time until I can get them into their new soil homes. As always, I will be placing CO2 bags into the environment. I like using these exhale CO2 bags. The bags are filled with a sawdust type-like substrate and come pre-inoculated with a type of fungus spore. Over the next few months, the fungal culture will slowly colonize the bags and in doing so emit CO2 through its vent, doing this as a byproduct. Plants consume CO2 and emit oxygen, where the fungus does the opposite, so it's a perfect symbiotic relationship. The more CO2, the bigger the plants. Then I simply hang them up in my environment on ratchet hangers so I can raise and lower them accordingly to the plant's height. Next, I'll have to make some new pots. I will need a solo cup, a screwdriver, and a blowtorch or heat source. Heat up the screwdriver and poke one hole directly in the center and 4 more in each corner. This is to ensure proper drainage so the roots won't be sitting in a pool of water after the feed. For the soil in the seedling stage, I will be using a basic, non-nutrient loaded soil like Dutch Treat potting soil. I will amend this soil with perlite and a mycorrhizae fungus that is on a lower scale of aggressive, like mics. This will aid in root development as it bonds with the root structure of the plants and creates an exchange of sugars and carbohydrates, allowing in a higher nutrient uptake. Symbiotically, one of the planet's most perfect beneficial relationships. Mycorrhizae has existed in the natural world doing this work under the soil way before us humans came into play. It's happening in the forest right now, and in the backyard as we speak. In fact, it is one of the world's largest mass organisms ever recorded. Still to date, there is one single honey mushroom colony in Oregon that the mycorrhiza network stretches as far as 2.4 miles. If one side of it is attacked by pests, then it can actually signal and divert nutrients 2.4 miles away in response. It's truly an amazing feat of nature. Once all the soil has been amended, I'll just go ahead and fill up these cups, but I'm careful not to pack it in, as I like to leave the soil loose in them so the roots don't have to struggle to break through at such an early stage of development. It's important to tag the cups off with their strain, because once the seeds go in there, other than the tag, there's no way of telling what is growing inside. Next, I will poke a tiny hole with the tip of a screwdriver, no deeper than half a fingernail's length, and with a pair of sterile tweezers, carefully place the seed into the hole. Pinch the hole shut to block out any light and carefully apply no more than 1 millimeter of water to the area. Now, I just have to rinse and repeat, and do that to the rest of the cups as well. should also mention that the water I'm using is just normal unchlorinated tap water, pH to 6.4. It does not need any nutrients at this point, as the seed casing comes packed with everything it needs for the first at least 2 weeks. And just like that, they are ready to go into their new environment. They will be going onto the seed mat again until they are fully germinated to assist the soil's temperature. It is important not to overwater these little guys, given it is pretty easy to drown a baby. That's why I stick to plants instead of babysitting these days. Seeds are cheaper than funerals. So, rather I just lightly mist the surface of the cups to keep them saturated. The main idea here is to not let the surface dry out too much. I then mist the dome's roof and 3 sides and keep all the vents closed for the time being. I also add a little bit of water around the propagation tray to ensure that the high humidity within the dome will be achieved. What I am shooting for is a temp of 26 degrees Celsius and a high humidity of between 65 and 70%. Next up, I will set the heater in the tent, as well as a humidifier to the desired range I am looking for. As with all stages of life, my spider-farmer lights will need to be adjusted accordingly. It has been set to pull only 250 watts and has been raised to 30 inches above the soil surface. And as a safety net, I will set and calibrate my environment using my AC Infinity exhaust to the high temperatures and humidity levels I need for germination. Thanks to this baby, if anything in my environment-wise alters other than what I've indicated, the system will go to work automatically and bring things back in range for me, even if I'm not around. And, after only placing them 2 days ago in soil, we have liftoff, and at a rate of 100% germination on top of it. The first 2 leaves that pop up are called cotyledon leaves. They are like the first solar panels for your plant, and their main goal is to take in energy and get the first set of true leaves off the ground so they can take over and start photosynthesizing. The seeds come packed full of nutrients to carry on until they need a nutrient dose, but they should be good for about a week or 2. If any of you guys want to grow along with me and grab some superior equipment like my lights and tents, Spider Farmer has given me a discount code, PILLY, for you guys to use at the checkout to save yourself some cash. Also, if you want to grab yourself some Diablo nutrients or any gardening supplies over at Indoor Growing or IndoorGrowing.com, you can use that same code name PILLY and save yourself some cash there as well. Thank you all for joining me yet again for another season, and this one's lined up to be one of the best ones yet. Just wait until you see the genetics behind these buds. I will walk you through along every step of the way, so don't miss out, and subscribe if you haven't already. And if you feel extra kind, please feel free to share my channel on your social medias to help get my content out there. As always, I will see you guys in the comment section here, so stay safe, keep those lungs full.